Good morning, it's Dr. J. In this video, I'm going to introduce myself. So I've received several emails from people with questions about essentially wanting to know who I am. And I've chosen 4 of the most common questions that I thought I would address here today and just share a little bit of myself with you. So the first is I'm going to talk about my training. The second question was what inspires me. The third was where does the doctor come from in Dr. J? And the fourth is touching upon the mindset of the safety plan and helping women lead safer lives. So let's start with training. My training began really back in my 20s. I have 2 primary mentors. One came into my life in my 20s and the other in my 30s. My mentors are highly trained, government trained, like government elite training people. And I have been lucky enough to have them take me on as a mentor and essentially be a secondary beneficiary of some of their knowledge. Now, I continue to train. That will be lifelong. I think lifelong learning, it's important to have that humility. And I continue to train. And then, of course, I share some of that knowledge with women in helping them lead safer lives. And I do that on a consulting basis. I have clients. So, but back to the training. So my first mentor, special ops and protective services kind of focus. And my second mentor was on the intelligence side. So it's been a really wonderful combination because those are very different things. And it has changed. Having access and training from these individuals has changed my life forever. And I take it very seriously, and I'm eternally grateful for that opportunity. So that's the training side. Question 2 was about what inspires me. And I would say that it's a combination of things. So on one side, there's a couple of experiences that I've had in my life that I think have had a profound influence. And on the other side, there's just who am I? What's my DNA? So in terms of there's 2 events that come to mind that really had a profound influence on me with the topic of safety and protection. One occurred during my childhood. A family friend of ours was a victim to a horrific event. Essentially, she was murdered. And I saw the impact that had on my parents, on my family, on her family. I remember how I felt as I think it was 8 or 9 at the time. And it has stayed with me through my entire life. The second event occurred during my early college years. I've got a bachelor's degree, a master's, and a doctorate degree. But this was during my 4-year bachelor's degree, and a very good friend of mine was the victim of a very violent crime. She did live and to tell about it, but has never been the same. And once she was ready, kind of part of her process of healing was sharing what she went through with some of her friends, and I was part of that group. And of course, this was a very traumatic event, and you feel part of that pain of what she went through. and that has always stayed with me as well. So I think those events, and then just who I am, I'm very independent. I've always been very inquisitive. I like solving things. I'm a problem solver. I like, solving the puzzle, if you will. If you look at what medicine is, it's you're problem solving, you're investigating, and you're problem solving. And putting together or sharing safety information with women is just, I think, an extension of that. So that's a little bit of, I think the question was geared at what inspired me to start this channel. And that is part of it. I've for years consulted with women and helped them with their own personal safety. And somewhere in there came the idea from friends and family as to why not reach a larger audience, share more with more women, reach more women to help them. And YouTube came up, and essentially that's how I decided to start this channel. So it's been a journey because I'm more private. I tend, it's uncomfortable at times initially in the beginning to be in front of a camera, but I'm getting used to it and figuring out how to make videos and the lighting and all of those technical things. So hopefully I can improve on that as we continue to go forward. But that's some of what inspires me and why I started the channel. The third question was what sort of doctorate degree I have. I reveal. So I obtained and earned my doctorate in veterinary medicine from UC Davis and have been a practicing veterinarian for about 15 years. Prior to that, I had a bachelor's degree in economics and an MBA degree, and I worked on Wall Street and then ended up transitioning into medicine. So that is where the doctor comes in. And the fourth topic or question that I was asked about is safety in general, and it was kind of a generic question, so I'm going to do my best to answer this. But I think what people are wanting to know is my view on safety plans and so forth. So, when I say that having the training from my mentors has been life-changing for me, the reason for that is I think that I had blinders on. I think we all do until you're exposed to the other side and start learning. And once those blinders were taken off and you see the world, you see it through a different lens. One of my mentors said to me, "You don't live in the world that you think you live in." And I didn't know initially what that meant. He then followed that up and said, there are predators literally everywhere. And now, years later, because I'm in my early 50s, I think that means different things to me. But what I would say with this training is I see from women the life change that happens. So when I talk about safety, I talk about sort of a three-pronged approach. There's the physical safety, there's your financial safety, and there's emotional safety. Usually when the physical and the financial get into order, the emotional safety sort of clicks in. But there's just a shift. I remember the shift in my thinking. It's how you see the world. It's a change of the lens, as I said. It's not about living stressed or paranoid or in an intense way. It's actually, I'm very happy and relaxed, but there's a tremendous awareness and there's a confidence because throughout the years, I've added skills and I call it putting tools in the toolbox, building your knowledge on how to protect yourself and handle certain situations, whether that's practicing and studying different martial art forms or learning about firearms or how you think about just certain situations on how you handle different occurrences. There's the situational awareness, which is a term that gets thrown around a lot. But for example, when I am going to, let's say, a new place, I call it the 20-second rule. The first 20 seconds that I've arrived, I'm assessing that situation. I'm seeing who's present. Is there anybody who's concerning me? Where are the exits? There's all sorts of things that are going on. People don't know that this is happening. They don't know that I'm doing this, but I am. And you're obtaining your situational awareness for that location. So with safety, I would say that if you decide to take on the knowledge and start building and putting the tools in the toolbox to help yourself lead a safer, happier, hopefully healthier life, it is that mind shift and sense to where you're going to have a different level of awareness. And within that, as you gain skills, your confidence will raise and you'll just see the world through a different lens. So I hope that helps to answer at least those 4 main topics or 4 main questions. I hope that gives you more information about who I am and what motivates me. I'm looking forward to, we've just scratched the surface, so I'm looking forward to diving in and producing more and more videos on certain topics around safety. And I'll look forward to hopefully seeing you in future videos.